M0 FXP. Let's compare the RX-888 clone version to the original one made by open source SDR Labs. You can see the box there. If you get it from SDR Labs, you get it in that box. This is actually the clone. Note the connectors are gold, and with the original here, which we will do a close-up, you've got silver ones. I've taken off the screws that hold them on. And so if we look at the clone first, I've tested both. They both actually do work, well. I feel that the original does work slightly better, and we're going to show that in on SDR console in a minute. So just so you know, when you take the clone one off, take just 2 screws off on this side, and then the board comes out. Okay, and let's take a close-up look. So it's very hard for me to tell if components are good or bad, or if they're identical. Honestly, I can't really tell. So we end up having to go by how it performs. But I've been using it for a few weeks, and I'm not happy with the fact that I paid the same price for the clone as I have now for the original, because I want the original one for demonstrations. And Banggood, I normally buy from AliExpress. They're very good on returns. Click, 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 no quibble. Banggood, they were a pain in the neck, and I'm very unhappy with their system of returns, because you asked for returns. I gave them the evidence that it was a clone, and they just, after a few weeks, went, we're not going to give you a refund or even give you the option to send it back. So if Banggood, if you're listening, no, that's wrong. But anyway, normally with AliExpress, I have 0 problems. So anyway, so there's that one. Let me show you the original now. So there's our original, and the way you can tell by the case, and it's actually on the open source SDR Lab site, look at the writing. The 888 has proper holes in the 8. That's a clone, okay? The originals have these weird holes, but it is the original. And one of the reasons people love these receivers, they do VHF, UHF and HF, but they also cover a very wide band. So now watch this. Now when I've taken just 2 screws off at both ends, you get cover plates. They look identical. Now when I'm trying to push this out now, it's actually really stiff, so go easy. And that's because they have these silver connectors. Is that better? I don't know. So now when we take it out, and this is actually the first time I've taken it all the way out. So don't mix them up, yeah? So really I should label one, because they're very, very similar. Oh, of course, we got these, so we can't get it wrong. So let's turn it round and have a close look. So can you see a difference? That's what I mean by it's really hard to gauge if there's a difference, isn't there? So look at the chip there. Let's turn the chip round. We'll try and zoom in. Can you see that chip? Looks like that's the main one. I don't know, maybe it's not. And the shielding, if we go like so. Some more chips. Yeah, oh, too much. It does sort of pause and then show, doesn't it? It is quite hard to see. Right, so that's our original. Now just note that on the other side of this one, they have added some, this stuff to transfer the heat. They didn't bother on the clone, but it does look, identical, doesn't it? And they say that they're all made in the same factory. Maybe they are. Okay. Here's the clone, the gold ends. There's the chip. Looks the same, I think. Which I think for people that have bought the clone, because it's so easy to do, they'll be pleased, because they want to know that, it's still a good product, even though it's a clone. I've seen some very good videos using this device, and when I've looked, they've been a clone device. Put it back together now, and then in the part 2 of this video, and you do need a decent, and it does come with it, a nice thick, decent USB cable. The one that actually came with the clone didn't work. I had to use a different cable. I've got a few of those lying around.
And then, yeah, separate antenna for VHF and UHF. But overall, I actually pretty much recommend the RX-888. Thanks for watching so far, and the next part will be testing. I'm going to connect them both within a few minutes of each other, and let's just see if there's much of a difference.